Control in sports betting is an interesting topic. There are things that you can control and there's things that you can't control, such as variance. Let's focus on those things that we can control and dive into this video and see where we can improve. So let's talk about control and sports betting. There is only a certain amount of things that you can actually control in your sports betting, but sports bettors do get very upset and emotional about things which are completely outside of their control. Once you place that bet, you have no control on whether the team will win or lose or whether the horse will win. All you have is control on the things before the match and if you want to trade out of the match and hedge your position during the match. So what can't you control? You can't control weather, players, umpires, teams, the bad calls which happen. We've all been there with bad calls. They can impact the game quite significantly at times, and they happen. They will happen in your favour occasionally, although you will remember all the bad calls. Every sports bettor and punter has a bad call that they can remember where something just didn't go their way and cause them to lose a significant bet. You can't control getting matched at the odds you want. Other people, you can't control how society views you as a sports bettor. It's never going to be one of the more traditional jobs, and society does view gambling as a vice, so it's out of your control. You can shape the way people see how you do gambling more as investing, but society as a whole will always see gambling as more of a negative part of society. You can't control the odds which are available. You can't control your winning runs and, more importantly, your losing runs. They will happen. They will be worse than what you think they will be. You can't control other sports bettors, and you can't control injuries that are going to happen in a game. Most of this comes down to variance. So you can't control variance. Things are going to happen in games and in the odds that are going to mean that you sometimes won't be on the game when it wins, sometimes you will be on the game, but bad calls or the weather or the players just not up to the standard that you thought they were. The bad runs are going to happen. What you have to remember is it's about outlasting those bad runs and that variance so that you can have your winning runs, and providing you have an edge, you'll end up in profit. If you can't control all those things, what can you actually control to help stabilize your emotions and improve your sports betting? Well, the first is your attitude. You need to go in thinking that you can win. If you take the thought process that you're going to lose, you will never improve and you'll never actually become a sports bettor that wins. So all of the good sports bettors I know have a very high level of confidence in their selections and their ability to win long term. They can outlast those short runs of losing, even if those short runs are months at a time. So your emotions, your attitude is going to affect your emotions. Losing runs are going to affect your emotions. There are ways, if you follow Jared Tendler, he's got quite a good book around psychology and how you can control your emotions more. Now, you don't want to have no emotions and be a robot. Emotions are still good. They give you motivation. They can spur you on to do more investigation and work on what you're doing and yourself. So the goal isn't to be a robot. The goal is to not have extreme emotions where those emotions cause you to make bad decisions. Losing runs will compound on each other. They will get to a point for a lot of people where people play catch up, they make mistakes in what they're doing, or they just stop betting because they've let their emotions get to them rather than understanding variance and making sure that their bet size are within a level that won't cause their emotions to get out of control. Your starting bankroll and the bankroll that you're using is a very important thing that can help, especially with your emotions. You can control that. This kind of goes along with staking size, which if you can control your staking size at a acceptable level for your bankroll and not have wild swings, you're going to have a lot less pressure on you to perform consistently. So if you're betting 50% of your bankroll, 2 losses are going to knock you out. But if you're betting 1% of your bankroll, it's going to take 100 losses to knock you out. You need to understand your bankroll and your staking size based on your drawdown, but keeping those in an area that makes you feel comfortable is going to go a long way in helping you sports betting. You can control how much research you do and the depth of research that you do. So having 5 minutes to look at a game before you place a bet is not what I would call research. You can spend an hour, 2 hours, 4 hours, whatever it's required for you to get the necessary information or to build your models and spend significant amount of time on data collection and analysis in order to get an edge. Now that edge is what's going to make you win long term, so research is very important, and how much time and how focused you are on your research is going to really impact if you're a long-term winner. You can look at techniques. So if you've got certain techniques that you use, such as modeling, you could look at maybe looking at trading as another option, or you could look at different ratings that are out there and comparing those with what you do to see if there's something better. Automation is a big thing that you can control. You should automate everything you can. Anything you can automate is going to save you time in the future. That time can then be better spent on high value activities such as more research and extra learning. So increasing your knowledge is something you can control. Now, it doesn't have to just be in the sports betting area. A good place to branch out to as a starting point is the stock market and how they do analysis and how they do trading. So slowly branching out what you look at and how other people are approaching similar problems will help. So fantasy football, for example, is not directly betting on a game, but looking at how they price and model the players in fantasy sports will definitely help to make profits in those sports. It's all about broadening that knowledge and understanding where it can apply to your particular situation. You can, to a degree, control your strike rate. So that's going to be controlled by the odds that you're betting on. Even though your models may look at long shots and make a profit on long shots, the strike rate on that is going to be significantly less than if you just focused on the heavy favorite under $1.50, for example. Those kind of choices are going to need to fit with what your risk tolerance level is, but you can control it. So if you're happy to bet all odds, you're going to have a lower strike rate. If you only bet long odds, you're going to have a much lower strike rate. And if you focus on favorites, your strike rate will be higher. And just work with that and see what feels comfortable for you. You can focus and control your processes. So you should have a standard process on how you research either a horse race, a sporting event. There should be certain things you go through, or if we look at modeling, if you have gone down an automated kind of route, you should have a process for how you analyze your data. So you look at the standard deviation, you look at the moving average over the last X months, you look at the month profit by profit. There's a lot of things that you can actually look at, but you need to have a list of those and have a standard process that you go through. And the last one, which is an interesting one, is sleep. If you don't get enough sleep, you're not going to be making the correct decisions. Tired brains cause a lot of mistakes. They make your emotions get out of control. You tend to do less work on your research. You tend to make quicker decisions because you're already tired, and you tend to take the easy route, and the easy route isn't always the best route. If you focus on all of these areas and you understand these are the areas you can control and you try to improve these areas, you're going to do better at your sports betting long term. So here was an interesting quote that I'm going to leave by Michael Phelps. And he said, "I can only control my performance. If I do my best, then I can feel good at the end of the day." And that's what this is about, controlling what you do and not worrying about all those things that are outside your control that are going to cause variance to your results. So try to control what you've got and those areas that I've identified, and hopefully over the longer term, it won't be straight away, but over the longer term, you should become a profitable sports bettor. Thanks for watching the video. If you want to see more videos like this, let me know in the comments, and I hope you have a great day and a profitable week sports betting. Thanks.